Ladies and gentlemen, you are watching the very first episode of Rediculious, a new cooking show with me, Retribution, where I take the ridiculous and the delicious and put them together. We got the first spicy recipe popping off. It's General Tao's Cornish game hen. Now, normally with General Tao's chicken, you fry the chicken in little pieces. What I actually did was I fried the bird, the whole bird. So let's begin. With all of our ingredients assembled, we're ready to begin. We have the green onions, the rice swine, the rice vinegar, the sesame oil, the frying oil, the soy sauce, the chilies, the ginger, and the garlic, which are going to give us the tangy flavor that we want, and the Cornish game hen himself. Let's get started. We're going to do a cup of the rice wine, a cup of soy sauce, and whisk that together. So now we're actually going to perforate the bird. This is going to do a couple things. Because it's going to marinate for about 30 minutes or so, it needs to be able to soak up all those juices. Also, because we're frying it whole, just for safety reasons, the oil is going to have to get inside of the bird. So perforating it lets both of those things happen. So now the bird is going to go into the marinade, and we want to get him on both sides about 15 minutes each and soak up all those juices. Now we're going to create our batter for our hen. It's going to be 2 cups of flour and a tablespoon of salt. This is going to give him that nice crunchy outside that we're going to want, like you would get with regular General Tao's chicken. So our bird is out of the fridge, he's well marinated, and it's time to get floured. So we're going to put him in our flour salt mixture, get him covered on all sides, make sure that every piece of him is covered in flour so that when he goes into the frying pan, he has that nice crispy crust. Speaking of which, we've got our oil up to hot. We're going to put our hen in. We will have to flip him because he's just too tall. We're going to cover this with aluminum foil to trap in the heat and make sure that the bird gets a nice fry. So now we'll begin with our sauce while our hen is frying. First, a little bit of sesame oil. We're going to do this on medium-high heat. Our garlic and our ginger, which has been minced. We get every last bit of that in there. Shortly after, we're going to put in our chilies. That's where the heat is going to come from. I recommend for most people, unless the people you're cooking for are spicy food and aficionados, do about half a package. We added some more sesame oil just to kind of get those flavors to know each other a little bit more. Just constantly mixing it up. Now it's going to be time to add the rice vinegar in just a moment. Yeah, when the garlic and the ginger are starting to turn brown, that's when you need to add your liquid ingredients. Yeah, so we're going to do about a half cup of that, half cup of rice vinegar, a half cup of rice wine, and soy sauce as you please. This sauce can be pretty light or pretty dark. Now, the recipe actually normally calls for white sugar, but I prefer brown sugar, and I feel like it gives it a really nice sweetness over the regular white sugar. Cornstarch will actually thicken up the sauce so it's less liquidy. Now it's time to flip over the bird. I was actually kind of scared because of how dark it was. I thought it was burnt. And we're going to add in our green onions. And the bird is sufficiently cooked. We're going to take him off heat. And into the sauce. Now, normally I would have cooked this in the wok itself, but I only had one wok. So what I ended up doing was I transferred everything into my pot. That way the sauce had more coverage on the bird itself. However, that is a non-issue when you make regular General Tso's, because the pieces are small enough that it's not a problem. Just kind of mix that up a little bit. Make sure you turn off your burners. Definitely bad to leave them on. I know I've done that a time or two. And there you have it, General Tso's Cornish game hen. So we fried the bird whole, we soaked him in the sauce, and it came out delicious. I can't even tell you. The first wave is tangy, then you get sweet, then you get spicy. And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. A first episode complete. Thank you so much for tuning in. Please like, share, comment, subscribe. I would love your support. I'm planning on doing this weekly. It's kind of an outlet for me. I love to cook, so experimenting is, it's an art form. I look forward to doing this over time and maybe even make some money off it. Who knows? So thanks for tuning in. See you next week.